In today's video, we're going to talk about a studio microphone that is connected to your PC, that could be connected to your PC with USB Type-C. It has a pop filter right on front. It has actually not some, but loads of functions right here on top, on front, and everything all together. And we have the stand that comes with. You could also mount it to a microphone arm as well, and loads of other stuff with the name Cougar Screamer-X. But regardless of that, we're going to take a but we're going to definitely test it out with all the possibilities that it has. I'm going to break it down on each and every single thing that this one has, because comparing it to other microphones that I reviewed, not degrading any of them, but this one has loads of possibilities and functions. Comparing to others, first that I could mention is what this one is missing is that it doesn't have an XLR connection, which is plus and a minus depending on how you look. Now, depending on what type of podcasting console or however you want to call it, do you have actually, the XLR could be an advantage here, but then again, some podcasting consoles actually have a multiple way of connecting microphones, including Type-C. So this could be a good thing as well. So it's all up to your current setup and what you're looking after. But I think this is something what Cougar did with their microphone is to give you guys, gamers, streamers, and eventually podcasters, but we have loads of options here, so I'm gonna break it down again. As I said, give you a more professional approach than your standard regular microphone with loads of functions and possibilities and everything else. So let's start with the obvious part, the design, right? Full black design with grayish parts here on the hanger that holds the microphone. We have a pop filter with Cougar logo in the middle. We have actually a button on top of the microphone which is used as a mute function for the microphone, and I think it has an LED on top, so it actually indicates is it muted or not. It's honestly really easy to take it out of the hanger. You just have to slide it out, and you have some sort of a 3 rubber feet inside the hanger to be able to push it inside and to keep it stable. At the bottom we have two types of threads for you guys that already have a microphone arm to be able to connect it to it and use it as such. Then we have a noise reduction switch, we have connectivity for your headset, 3.5mm jack, and you have USB Type-C connection as well. Now here on front we have a gain adjustment possibility. The second one is the adjustment for the pattern, and then we have the adjustment for your headphones. So if you decide to connect the headphones right here at the bottom, you can adjust the volume right here. This is basically it when we're talking about this one, but you can also remove the pop filter, and you have this some sort of a strap that you place here on top and place it around. So what happens here is that you don't need, depending on what you're doing, depending on the polar pattern that you're using, you remove the pop filter. It's all up to you, and it's quite easy to lock it back in. It doesn't break, even though the sound does sound like that, but you don't have to worry about it. Quite nice design and quite light, I would say. When we're talking about the stand, as already mentioned, 3 rubber feet, 3 rubber pads inside to keep the microphone inside and not wobbly or anything similar to that. You have 2 thumb screws right here at the back to adjust the angle of the microphone. 4 rubber feet at the bottom to keep it stable, and of course you have this some sort of a LED ring at the bottom which has a connection right here at the back. Nice metallic look with a gloss Cougar logo right here in the middle. That's all that is when we're talking about the stands. I don't think we have to say anything more than that, except showing you the RGB lights, which we will get to that part later on in the video. So let's go through some main features. So we have cardioid shotgun, bidirectional, omnidirectional pickup patterns. You even have pickup direction and pattern symbol here at the back of the box, which indicates how it's used. Now in the box you get a Screamer-X microphone. We have RGB stand with USB hub, detachable pop filter, threaded screws adapter, L-shaped Type-C to USB Type-A for the microphone, Type-C to Type-A cable for the RGB stand, and user's manual. The microphone has triple 16mm drivers, noise reduction, as already stated, anti-vibration rubbers at the bottom of the stand, and real-time monitoring. So let's check it out. I'm going to connect everything to the PC, and we have to check out the quality of the sound. So this first cable, USB Type A to USB Type C, is for RGB. Now, as you can see right here, I had to move a bit further from it, from the microphone, from my current microphone, because the cable for the RGB is a bit too short. So well, basically, if you're going to use it with the RGB, you're going to have it really near your PC. If you don't want to use it, you have a quite long USB Type-C cable. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to detach the RGB lights, because you know how it goes. They go circle around and you can swap through the colors. And I'm going to connect the Type-C directly to the microphone, and we're going to check out how is the quality of the sound. So I'm currently using bidirectional pattern here on the microphone because what I wanted to do is to have something that you can see right here, and I could eventually switch it around if you want to see the back. Regardless to that, recording the microphone sound, and what I said at the beginning of the video, when you want to mute the microphone, the light turns red here on top, and this is how it indicates that the microphone is muted, right? So let's go here on the front and let's check the gain, and I want to see something. The gain was adjusted at the lowest point here on the microphone, so I'm going to go with number 2 out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 possibility, 9 levels. I think there are even 10, but let's put the plus and minus indication here out of the question. So we have 9 stages of adjusting the gain, and this is currently on 2. Sorry for bumping the microphone. Yeah, there's that. So we have headphone adjustment as well, and I love the design. It's quite minimalistic. It screams. This is actually an accidental pun, but screams Cougar brand, Cougar gaming, and everything that they represent in terms of the design. It has that slick design, elegant all around. I mean, if you remember the Duoface Pro case, it kind of has the same visual aspects, not the same design, don't get me wrong, okay? But it really does look quite nice. It's a bit different than you're used to seeing on the channel and in general when we're talking about the bigger stand, which is definitely quite stable on the surface and will give you some stability and anti-vibration in terms of when you're gaming, moving, and doing all the other stuff. But I would say visual aspects perfect, the design is outstanding. I can't turn it around since I'm in that sort of pattern, but regardless of that, cool thing that they have the pop filter already here. I think you could swap it around. I don't want to try it right now while I'm recording my actual voice, so you can actually hear how it works. And there'll be also, I think I'll lower it down a bit, because what I noticed in the Audacity, and I left it behind just in case, when I initially started recording, everything was at the lowest point of the gain, and then the last minute or something like that, I was recording with +2 on gain. So now it's on +1, and I think you already noticed the difference in my talk while I was adjusting the gain. So guys, I need to hear this and then we'll wrap it up. Now, checking out the sound coming from the microphone when I recorded my voice, it's quite outstanding thing, because even though with the echo, and I tend to remove the echo from the microphone because it does catch something out of it, regardless of that, we have an outstanding microphone right here, and it isn't anything strange, to be honest, not because of the brand, but because of all the specification that it has. And one more thing I totally forgot to mention is the gain knob has an orange indication light constantly shining in orange, well, because of the Cougar logo, as I mentioned earlier. So it's quite nice, minimalistic. Really love the design and everything that goes with it. You can adjust the pop filter, you can remove it, place it on a arm if you decide to do so. You have additional possibility to have an RGB stand or a hub, it's all up to you. And all 4 pickup patterns are right here to be adjusted depending on, are you podcasting, are you gaming, are you having a multiple podcast, are you doing an interview, a conversation with somebody else. It's all up to you to decide, and you can just switch it with a knob right here. The microphone sounds great, and as you noticed immediately when I added the gain, it does give a bit more clarity. You don't want to crank the gain up to the maximum because it doesn't make sense, and you'll most likely get not interference, but most likely you'll get some disturbance, not in the force, but disturbance in the microphone and everything else. But also it depends on your audio card on your motherboard or dedicated card or whatever you're using. It all depends. So guys, quite outstanding product we have right here. As I already mentioned, Cougar Screamer-X podcasting studio microphone that can be used for literally everything, every situation, every scenario. And comparing to others that I recently reviewed, they don't have all of these functions, but then again, we have a difference in price as well. So yeah, there's that. I'm not going to complain because we are getting loads of features, and definitely I would say somewhere around that price it's okay, because we have loads of pickup patterns and all the other stuff that I already mentioned. I'm not going to repeat myself, of course, you can rewind back. But regardless to that, this is Cougar Screamer-X studio microphone for basically all purposes, and I'll place the link in the description so you can check out the price and additional information that you might want to know, and I didn't mention them, right? So don't forget to sub, like, and click the notification bell for future content coming right up. And thank you for watching, of course. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.